Harvard University has a book bound in human skin.
I have gotten some questions about this, naturally, so I'm going to answer them as best I can. Who wrote the book and what is it about? The book was written by Arsène Houssaye. It was published in 1879. It's called The Destinée de l'âme, or The Destinies of the Soul, and it's a meditation on the human soul and the afterlife. Houssaye gave a copy of the book to his friend Dr. Ludovic Belland, and Dr. Belland is the one who bound it in human skin. So, whose skin is it? Unfortunately, we don't know her name. We do know that she was in a French hospital and she died suddenly from apoplexy, which is usually a hemorrhage or stroke, and her body was unclaimed. So Dr. Belland took skin from her back and saved it. And he got his medical degree like 20 years prior to receiving this book, so he had been holding on to this skin for quite some time. So why did he bind the book in human skin? The process is called anthropodermic bibliophagy, and in general, there are a lot of reasons people did this. But for this book in particular, Dr. Belland wrote a note that was kept in the book that says, "A book on the human soul deserves a human vestment, or a human cover." And someone asked, why not have the book on display? What's the point in having it if no one can see it? And the answer is that it's kind of an ethical dilemma. Items like this need to be handled with a lot of sensitivity, because presumably this woman did not consent to having her skin stripped and used to bind a book. And in the museum and research world, there's constantly more and more conversation about repatriation and the ethics of handling human remains. And unfortunately, a lot of people have weird and even nefarious intentions with items like this. So even though it is a curious item for a lot of people, it might in fact be better to keep it behind closed doors. It also might just be in their research collection being studied right now. But I do want to say that I've been to quite a few medical museums where items like this are a little more commonplace, and you are generally not allowed to have your phone out. You can't take pictures of anything. And there's also quite a bit of debate about what Harvard should even do with this book. Some people say that they should remove the skin from the book and give it a proper burial because this powerless woman's rights were violated by a member of the medical community. And Harvard says that since they were given the book as a formal gift, it's their obligation to preserve it. It's a tricky conversation for sure, and one that museums around the world are having about their collections. And it's important. So thank you for your questions, and I hope this answers some of them.